This is, to many of us, this is the day we've been waiting for, or the next day we've been waiting for. I tell everybody my second favorite day in the world as mayor is groundbreakings, and my favorite day are grand openings. So we are like at 1.5. We've done the groundbreaking. You are getting to see some of the work that's been done. But today is the day that we've been talking about in my office for a long time. It's the day we get to do the reveal. And I think the cat's out of the bag, as you're seeing. But when we first announced the concept of a concert hall, you know, we first set the placeholder. Dominic Cochran said, let's just placeholder Ovation, because I like that. And we all fell in love with it, and it became the name. So everybody credit Dominic Cochran. And then we did a placeholder with Studio Intrigue for what it could look like. But then Albert Kahn came on the scene, and they said, let's do it up. They said, we think Lansing is incredible, and we should really show off our city and the creativity of our city. And what you're looking at is a result of many, many hours of Jeff Dehan working on it, and Dominic Cochran working on it, Emily Linden working on it, our staff, and then we've got Redhead Design, Jen and her team, and Rebecca and Caitlin with Capital Fundraising. You're seeing a lot of hard work in all of this. In my cabinet meeting on Monday, my chief administrative officer said, Reddit is blowing up with excitement on the O. And I'm like, Reddit? Like, I'm not on Reddit. My kids are on Reddit. But there's so much excitement. There's so much excitement, and everyone here in this room, as I look around and see a lot of familiar faces, are part of the excitement. We are the capital city of Michigan. And if you talk to Caitlin O'Rourke, she'll tell you that better than me that if you want to go to a concert right now, you have to go to Detroit. You have to go to Grand Rapids. I was talking to a student at MSU a week ago who was asking about this, and they were saying, I don't want to go to Detroit or Grand Rapids. I want to be right here in Lansing. We know that there's a need. We know we're going to fit the need. We know there's been a need for 30 years. And now, today, we get to reveal what is it going to look like, how is it going to feel, what's the excitement going to be. We also get to reveal another major funder that's helping us out with an incredible donation. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Dominic, but I want to thank you all for being here. I want to remind you all at ovationlansing.com, you can contribute. We spent a lot of time with big contributors and $1 million, $500,000, but we want everybody to be able to have their part in this concert venue here in Lansing. So if you want to give $25, if you want to give $50, if you want to give $100, if you want to give $25 a month, you can do that. And again, Dominic has this idea of, you walk into a facility and you see bricks with people's names on it, and that's nice. But how about putting it in lights? How about using some technology and having the lights put the names up so that it can change and it can be different colors? And when you go in, you get to see that. We want everybody in this community to have a stake in this incredible facility. So please go and give your $25, give your $100, whatever you can afford, whatever you think that you can do. We want everybody to be part of this and to have a stake in this facility. It's going to be the city of Lansing, but really it's going to be the whole community. So check it out, grab a pin, and then when someone says, what's the O, you can spread the word as well. They're going to see it. My staff knows for the last month or two, I've been saying we have to get all of this put up so that people don't think it's this abandoned corner. They think that there's something exciting coming. I look at Julie and, we have to show people the excitement that's coming, and that's what we're doing. So please, everybody here, spread the word. Again, give your $5, your $15. I don't give whatever or don't, but spread the word. Talk about the excitement. Get people to go to the website. Get people to check it out. We know there's a lot of excitement out there, and it's just going to build and build and build. We're We're going to finish this building. The Public Media Center is going to be here. We're going to construct a new building, which you're looking at, and we're going to be ready to go. So thank you all for being here, for your participation. Dom, I hope I didn't take too much of your thunder, but I know you've got more excitement than I do in like one finger. So thank you for everything, Dom.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you, everyone. So about the fundraising campaign, one of the first questions I got from some people when I said we're going to have a public fundraising campaign is they said, I thought you had all the money you need to build this facility. Why do you need my $25? Well, the answer to that is, and I personally, when I give to these campaigns, I don't want to feel like it's going into like a black hole of a construction budget, right? So the reason we're asking for this crowdfunding component is to fund 3 very specific, very forward-facing parts of the building that will help really activate it. So the private fundraising campaign, when you give your $25 or $50, of course we have swag also. We're not just asking for the donation. We have some really cool swag that you'll see on the website, and we didn't go cheap on that either, so I think you'll appreciate the quality of the swag. What you're funding is actually, many of you remember the other location of the Lansing Public Media Center at 2500 South Washington, that we were there for about 13 years, and it was always supposed to be a temporary location, and it just kept years go by, and the next thing you look back and 12 years have gone. But over that time, that really became a true community space. It was really the heart of that area. We had many nonprofits, had fundraisers. The Capital City Film Festival had many film screenings there. So many good times, so many people coming in to use the facilities and equipment. It truly became a gem of South Lansing. And of course, the public safety campus, there's not really any other place to build it in the city. They needed a certain number of acres. There aren't like big 8-10 acre parcels sitting around in the city of Lansing that you can develop. So it kind of had to be there. One of the big losses, though, that we had because of that was we had to tear down a beautiful mural that went up as part of the Below the Stacks Mural Festival in 2019. Max Sansing had an amazing mural on that building. Many of you saw it, I'm sure. And what you're going to fund is, so I think it's a real beautiful full circle story on the south wall of this building right behind us. So if you go that way and turn as if you're coming from Rio Town or 496, it's a 85 foot by 35 foot tall wall that Max Sansing is going to put a mural up starting Monday. So yeah. So that was kind of luck that we had a gap in his schedule. It was supposed to be next spring, but he called us up and said, hey, I had a cancellation and I can do it in September. And I said, yes, let's do it. So, so fortunate, because I think that's also going to help show some activity on this site. It'll give something we can all be proud of and hopefully fall in love with this new mural like we did the other one. It was a true source of daily inspiration at that past location, and I expect it to be the same here. The other thing that the crowdfunding campaign will help pay for is 2 large LED marquees visible from, several blocks away. Mostly what those marquees are going to show, of course, is upcoming shows at the Ovation, the things that are coming up in the calendar. But we also, Mayor alluded to it, donor walls are great, but I feel like after you see those for the first couple of times when you visit a facility, your eyes glaze over a little bit and you don't really look at it after the 3rd or 4th time you come to a place. So we are going to thank all of our funders, not just the ones that gave $1 million or more. Even the people that gave $25 or $50 and got a t-shirt and stickers, those people are going to be right up there, and you'll be able to see your name inside the venue and outside on the marquee. The third thing that the funding is in the campaign, it's in the current design phase right now, but you'll see there's a large facade that's cantilevered over the street. That gray cantilever facade is actually going to be the smaller performance space in the Ovation. Approximately 150 to 200 seat black box theater and cinema space will also be the main venue for the Capital City Film Festival. But on that exterior facade, we're working on doing a real placemaking sign for Lansing, Michigan. not just like a printed sign, but like imagine like a built steel neon light Lansing, Michigan sign, a true placemaking sign, and not just Lansing, but Lansing, Michigan, like I said. So the state of Michigan is our second biggest funder in this project. They really stepped up with $7 million from various sources. So we think having a capital city, really awesome placemaking sign that we can be proud of on the building will be great. So those three very specific things are what that funding is going to pay for. So thank you in advance for that support. And we hope everybody can feel some true ownership over the building. And that's about it on that part. And the next thing I would like to announce today is we had a construction budget all along, of course, and there was a number in that budget for sound and lighting. Of course, we had that reflected in our budget, but it was a number where we were going to have to do a lot with a little. So really going to have to be smart about, strategically spending our money and possibly improving the sound system over time. But that was keeping me up at night. The concept of, opening with an okay sound system that could theoretically improve as we see success coming into the building. Because my theory on this whole thing, my philosophy is that everyone's going to come check it out at least once, right? But if we don't make that experience as amazing as it can possibly be, they might not give us multiple chances. So we're going really heavy on audience and artist experience, and sound and lighting and projection, of course, is a massive part of that. So I'm sleeping a lot better now at night because the DART Foundation has stepped up with an amazingly generous gift targeted toward the sound and lighting system of $1.25 million. So my wife over there can thank for the sleeping better at night. Thank you for coming today. And I would like to introduce Jim Lammers from DART Corporation and DART Foundation. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you this afternoon. I moved to this area as an 8-year-old in 1967. And downtown Lansing looked a lot different, as you would imagine, than it does today. I remember the Michigan Theater, the Gladmere, and a lot of retail. This was before the malls, of course, and lots of other things and the changes of time. And Lansing has, like many cities, has had its own ups and downs. I want to applaud the mayor. I don't know whether Mayor Shore is still here, but there you are. Hello. Yes. Good. I want to applaud you for your vision. It's clear, I think, to anybody who lives in the area and gets downtown and lives it and feels it and breathes it, that things are arcing in the right direction. And it's very exciting and very positive to see. And we're here today, obviously, to celebrate what I think will be a jewel in the crown in terms of the Ovation. I also want to say, Dom, to you, I know there's an awful lot of work that goes into getting to this stage, let alone the built environment and the opening night. It's a highly iterative process. You're dealing with a lot of very bright people, and I think the architectural firm that you chose was the right choice, and I think the renderings are fantastic. I agree with you that first impression is very, very important. We had dialogue with Dom about the sound system, and it seemed to us, based on those conversations, that was a very good place to have our monies applied. I have a good friend of mine who always talks about it's the faces, not the places. And when he says that, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're with people whose company you enjoy. That's what it's all about. And I completely agree with that. That said, having good places matters. And this is going to be an outstanding place. And I think having a place like this is going to draw the faces. And they're going to be faces that are young and old, rural and urban. And I think it's going to be a very diverse crowd, in part depending on the music of the night and other things that are happening here. So I think it's going to energize downtown in a significant and meaningful way. And some of that's the usual stuff. It's going to drive business activity. It's going to make it easier for all of us who love this area to continue to attract and retain talent. Michigan is an outstanding state, and the capital city area is as well. I guess in closing, I would just like to say that, and echo the mayor's comments and Dom's, yours as well, that to the extent that anybody can contribute, whatever it is, I mean, there's a lot of people contribute through sweat equity, through ideas, through financial contributions. It all matters. And this, I think, is a really good example of a partnership between public funding and the private sector and individuals. And it promises to get to a finished product, which I really do think, I get so jazzed when I see the renderings. I've got some experience in this area, and dealing with very skilled architects and people who are really strong on signage and programming and all of those things are some of the most creative people around, and I think you've got an outstanding team on that. So in closing, I want to thank you and your team, Dom and Mayor, for a job exceedingly well done.
Thank you again, Jim, and thank you to DART Foundation. How incredible is that we can start off right where we want to be. It's fantastic, and Jim's right. There's a lot going on. We're moving City Hall around here in the southern downtown area. So some may accuse me of building a concert hall just so our city employees can come. But no, we're doing that. We're going to have a new hotel downtown with a glassed-in restaurant that's a 7th floor view of the Capitol. We're going to have at least 3 new buildings here with 450 units, many of them affordable or workforce units here in our downtown with a new tower. There's a lot going on. And I'm proud of all that. Not just downtown, you're seeing construction on Michigan Avenue. My apologies, but give it 3 months or 4 months, and we're going to have a beautiful new Michigan Avenue. I tell everyone, when you see construction, this is what fixing the damn roads looks like. And it sucks to have construction, but we love the result. You're going to see some activity on the west side where we've got some tired buildings that are going to be rehabbed thanks to the Lonzos. We've got some south side work. There's a lot going on in Lansing. So people ask me, how am I doing? And the answer is I'm excited. I'm optimistic. In 2 to 3 years, we're going to have a very different Lansing. But there's a lot of work involved. And I want to thank my staff for doing all the hard work to put together the contracts and the documents. And we got to thank the legislature and the governor for providing a lot of money. Representative Whitwer and Senator Anthony both have really championed a lot of our funding. So there's a lot going on. I do want to recognize, because I forgot, this all started with a feasibility study. We came in and we said, we think this is the right thing to do. And going back to Dave Hollister in the Civic Center, this has been the right thing to do. But what's the sweet spot? So we did a feasibility study that said the sweet spot's about 2,000. We've got Wharton at 2,600, something that'll work with Wharton. Concerts are the sweet spot. This was not all a guess. This was all done with data. And that feasibility study was paid for by the Community Foundation, the Lansing City Pulse, the Lansing Symphony, and Jack and Sue Davis. I want to recognize those 4 because but for that feasibility study, we can't go to DART, we can't go to MSU-FCU, we can't go to all of the funders and say, hey, we think this is the right thing. They all say, prove it. DART's not giving $1.25 million without evaluating. MSU-FCU is not going to give. So they did the homework, and those 4 entities helped to pay for it, and then they gave Dom the batteries, and they wound him up and pushed him, and off he went. So thank you, everybody, for being here. You've heard it once. I'm going to say it again. Please don't forget. We want a high number of contributors. We want to say the community is invested. Please give $25, $50, whatever you think makes sense, and let's show that our community is going to support. Let's have a whole lot of names up in lights when this thing opens up. And check out the pictures. Share this on social media. Come take pictures in front of this great board. and share this on social media. Remind your friends that that the Ovation's coming, and we're really excited about it. So go forth and talk about the Ovation, and thank you all for being here today. Thanks, everyone. One more thing.
Yeah, sorry. But wait, there's more. Real quick, Mr. Lammers alluded to the team, and I just have to say thank you to Emily Linden, our CFO, new CFO. It's been also sleeping a lot better at night, post-CFO life. And the development team, we have 3 folks from Albert Kahn Associates who've joined us today. Kim, Alan, and Andrew, if you could raise your hands. And I think, are you available for interviews or any press questions? So, awesome. Thank you so much. So seek those folks out because, as you can tell, they're doing an amazing job. Freund Associates is our construction management firm. I think we have Rob Gibb from Freund is here today. He's back there. And then our owner's rep team, who has been instrumental to getting where we are, is Dymaxion Development, and we have Jeff, Matt, and Brendan from Dymaxion are here as well. So I think all these folks are available for questions from the media, and now that's it, I promise. Thank you so much.